In April, we were invited to go to Little Barrier Island. Dad was asked to be a nest minder for one of the kakapo there.
Little Barrier is an island sanctuary in the Hauraki Gulf near Auckland. To get there, we had to wake up at 5:30 in the morning. We drove by car for 1.5 hours. We stopped at Doc Warkworth office to go through a special quarantine check.
The quarantine check is when a dock ranger checks that our clothing and footwear is clean and has no seeds, insects or dirt in them, and then everything is packed into sealed fish bins so rats can't get in. Before we left Stewart Island, Dad had to wash all our gear in special disinfectant to kill any germs that could be passed on to kakapo.
We had to get a special permit from Doc to go to Little Barrier. We went by charter boat with a group of Little Barrier volunteer workers. The boat trip took us about 2 hours. It was really cool to see Little Barrier for the first time. Little Barrier is volcanic. The beaches are very rocky, so getting ashore can be really tricky. We were lucky we got a free ride up the slipway.
We walked to the house while the ranger took all of our stuff by tractor. This is the ranger's house where we stayed and where Dad lived when he was just a young boy.
The ranger here has 2 children about our age. Unfortunately, they were away when we visited. They do their schooling by correspondence, like my dad did before he went to boarding school.
The kids made a really fun slide out of a trawler net. This is the bunkhouse where scientists and volunteers stay when they are working.
On Little Barrier Island, the dock manager's house and the bunkhouse are powered by solar power.
This is the cool way that the kids transport all their stuff to get to the beaches. There is no sand on Little Barrier, but you can still make cool things out of boulders and driftwood.
Little Barrier Island is home to more threatened bird species than any other island in the whole of New Zealand, and these are some of them. There are kakariki, robin, kiwi, and every now and again you'll get the odd white kiwi. The stitchbird is a very rare bird. For decades it was only found on Little Barrier. It is one of the rarest honeyeaters in the world. There are also kokako and kakapo.
There are kakapo on Little Barrier, and one was named Dobby after my grandpa. He was a ranger on the island, and he lived and worked there for 14 years with my dad.
There are also 12 species of geckos and skinks.
Did you know that the giant weta is the heaviest insect in the world?
There are also tuatara here. Some have been put into a large enclosure to breed. After the eggs are hatched, the babies are separated from the adults so they don't get eaten. When they are big enough, they are released back into the wild.
A lot of Little Barrier is covered in kauri forest. Some of this was cut down and sold as timber in the 1800s. Kauri timber is very valuable because it's light and very strong. Because the branches are attached by a sort of socket joint, kauri timber doesn't have knots in it. It was very good for shipbuilding and making furniture. Kauri gum was used for furniture polish.
The island has lots of streams, but it's so steep that most of them only flow during heavy rain. Most of the time, on top of the island, it's covered by cloud. This is where the cloud forest is. It's cool and damp, and the ground and trees are covered with moss and ferns.
These are called kidney ferns because they are shaped like kidneys. They grow up here in the cloud forest.
This is a parapara tree. Its seeds are so sticky they catch small birds and insects. When the birds and insects die, they drop to the ground and provide fertilizer for the seeds. It's a pretty interesting way of getting fertilizer. Little Barrier has a subtropical climate. The forest is very different to Stewart Island. It has kauri, pahutakawa and nikau palm. The sea is clear and warm and full of cool fish, like the snapper and goatfish.
Evidence of the extinct volcano can be seen in these lava flows that make up these huge 300-metre high cliffs. Thank you for watching our documentary.